You don't need $1 million idea to become a millionaire. You need $1 million mindset. Because I'll tell you this, if you took all the money in the world and divided it equally, within 5 years, the rich would be rich again, and the broke would be broke again. Why? Because wealth is a mindset, not just money. Imagine waking up every day knowing that no matter how hard you work, you'll always struggle. That was my life at 25. Then I learned a secret. Wealth is not something you pursue, it's something you attract by becoming more valuable. So let me ask you, are you ready to become the kind of person that wealth is looking for? Someone once asked me, Jim, what's the first step to becoming a millionaire? And I said, decide. That's it, decide. Most people never decide to be wealthy. They wish, they hope, they dream, but they never decide. Let me tell you something. Your bank account is a reflection of your philosophy. If you have $100 in your pocket, it's not just about money. It's about the value you created. The good news, you can change it. Because wealth isn't something that happens to you. It's something you create. Most people think success is complicated. It's not. In fact, it's simple. But simple doesn't mean easy. The truth is, success follows a formula. And once you learn the formula, wealth and freedom become inevitable. Let me ask you something. If your life continued exactly the way it is now, where would you be in 5 years, 10 years? Would you be happy with that outcome? If the answer is no, then it's time to change. If there's one thing that separates the wealthy from the mediocre, it's not just money, it's mindset. Success begins in your thinking. Before wealth ever shows up in your bank account, it has to exist in your mind. The truth is, most people are trained to think small. They focus on limitations instead of possibilities. They say, I can't afford it, instead of asking, how can I afford it? They say, I'm not lucky, instead of realizing that success has nothing to do with luck and everything to do with principles. I used to think like that too. I used to believe that wealth was for other people, that financial success was reserved for those born into the right family, with the right connections or the right circumstances. And then I learned something that changed my life. Wealth is a result of habits, decisions, and the way you think. The wealthy don't think about just getting by. They think about growth. They don't focus on what they lack. They focus on opportunities. And because they think differently, they act differently. If you want to change your financial future, the first step is to change your thoughts about money, success, and personal growth. Stop thinking like a victim and start thinking like an owner. Stop seeing problems, start seeing solutions. Start asking better questions, because the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your thinking. The moment you shift your mindset, you unlock a new level of potential. And once that happens, the journey from mediocre to millionaire has already begun. If you want to change your income, don't focus on the economy, focus on yourself. The marketplace doesn't pay you for your time, it pays you for the value you bring to the time. If you want to earn more, you have to become more. Too many people spend their lives working hard on their job, but never working hard on themselves. They wait for a raise, a promotion, or a lucky break, but the real breakthrough happens when you decide to increase your own value. I used to work for wages. Getting up every morning, putting in the hours, and hoping things would get better. But nothing changed until I changed. One day, I got some advice that transformed my thinking. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. That was a wake-up call. I started reading books, developing skills, improving my communication, and investing in my personal growth. And as I got better, my opportunities got better. My income started to rise, not because the job changed, but because I changed. That's the secret. You don't get paid for the hours you put in. You get paid for the value you bring to those hours. If you want to be in the top 10% of earners, you have to become the kind of person who belongs there. Study, learn, develop discipline, and build skills that make you indispensable. The moment you start working harder on yourself than on your job, you'll never have to chase opportunities. Opportunities will start chasing you. If there's one lesson to learn about wealth, it's this: never rely on just one source of income. Too many people put all their hopes into a single paycheck, a single business, or a single opportunity. That's risky. What happens if that source dries up? What happens if circumstances change? Security doesn't come from one income stream. It comes from multiple. I learned this early on. I was working hard, making a living, but just getting by. Then I met someone who had several streams of income. He had a business, investments, and side ventures, all producing money while he slept. That was an eye-opener. I realized that true wealth isn't about working harder at one job. It's about creating multiple ways for money to flow into your life. You can start small. Maybe it's an investment, a side business, or a skill that allows you to earn in different ways. The key is to get creative and think beyond just your paycheck. Even small streams, when added together, create a river of opportunity. Some of the wealthiest people in the world don't rely on one business. They own multiple assets, businesses, and investments that generate income from different directions. The moment you stop depending on a single source, you take control of your financial future. You create stability, freedom, and the ability to weather any storm. Wealth isn't about earning more from one place. It's about earning from many. If you want to build wealth, you must learn one of the most valuable skills in the world: the art of sales and persuasion. No matter what you do, whether you own a business, work a job, or invest, your ability to influence others will determine your level of success. Some people hear the word sales and immediately think, oh, I'm not a salesperson. But the truth is, we are all in sales. Every day you are selling, whether it's an idea, a vision, or even yourself in an interview or a negotiation. The ability to communicate effectively, to present value, and to inspire action is a skill that will open doors you never thought possible. I learned this the hard way. When I was young, I struggled financially, and one of the first things I realized was that I needed to improve my ability to communicate and persuade. Once I learned how to sell, how to convey value, how to understand people's needs, how to close a deal, my entire financial situation changed. Suddenly, opportunities appeared where before I had seen none. The good news is, sales is a skill you can learn. Study the best, practice daily, and pay attention to how great communicators influence others. Whether you're convincing a customer to buy, a business partner to invest, or a team to follow your lead, persuasion is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Master it, and your financial future will never be the same. One of the greatest lessons in wealth building is simple but often ignored. Spend less than you earn and invest the difference. It sounds easy, but most people never master it. They get a raise and immediately upgrade their lifestyle. They make more, but they also spend more, leaving them in the same financial position year after year. I remember when I was struggling financially, barely making ends meet. Every dollar I earned seemed to vanish. Then I learned a principle that changed my life. It's not how much you make, but how much you keep and what you do with it that determines your future. The wealthy don't just earn money, they manage it wisely. They control their spending, avoid unnecessary debt, and put their money to work for them. Discipline is the key. It takes discipline to say no to impulse spending. It takes discipline to live below your means while others are living beyond theirs. And it takes discipline to invest your money instead of wasting it on things that provide no long-term value. But the rewards of financial discipline are freedom, security, and ultimately, wealth. If you want to be wealthy, start thinking long-term. Save aggressively, invest wisely, and let your money grow. Don't be the person who makes a fortune and loses it just as quickly. Be the person who builds wealth that lasts. Because the goal isn't just to make money. It's to keep it, multiply it, and create a future where money works for you instead of the other way around. If you want to change your life, Start by changing your mind. Wealth isn't just about money. It's about knowledge. The more you learn, the more you earn. But here's the challenge. Most people stop learning the moment they leave school. They think education ends when the diploma is in their hands. The truth is, that's just the beginning. I learned this lesson the hard way. In my early years, I thought working harder was the key to success. And while hard work is important, I discovered something even more powerful: working smarter. And the only way to work smarter is to keep learning. When I met a successful man who became my mentor, the first thing he asked me was, "How many books have you read in the last 90 days?" I didn't have an answer because I wasn't reading at all. He told me, "If you want more, you must become more. And the way you become more is by feeding your mind new ideas, strategies, skills." From that day forward, I became a student again, not in a classroom, but in life. I started reading books on business, personal development, investing, and leadership. I listened to successful people, attended seminars, and learned from anyone who had something valuable to share. And you know what happened? My thinking changed. My decisions got better. My results improved. Knowledge is power, but only if you use it. Reading a book won't make you rich. Applying what you learn will. So make it a habit to invest in your mind. Set aside time every day to learn something new, because if you keep expanding your knowledge, you'll keep expanding your opportunities. And when opportunity meets preparation, success is inevitable. You can have the best ideas, the best plans, and the best knowledge in the world, but if you don't act on them, nothing changes. Knowledge alone won't make you wealthy. It's applied knowledge that creates results. I've met people who have read every book on success, attended every seminar, taken pages of notes, yet their life remains the same. Why? Because they never take action. They confuse learning with doing. I remember when I first started learning about wealth, business, and personal growth, I got excited. I filled up notebooks with strategies, underlined key points in books, and nodded my head in agreement with every great idea I heard. But guess what? My bank account didn't care how much I knew. My circumstances didn't change just because I understood success principles. Things only started to shift when I took what I learned and put it into motion. And that's the hard part, isn't it? Action requires risk. It requires stepping into the unknown. It's easy to get stuck in the trap of waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect conditions, the perfect plan. But the truth is, perfection is an illusion. There's no perfect time to start a business, no perfect moment to invest, no perfect conditions to take a leap of faith. Success belongs to those who act, not to those who wait. So here's the key. The moment you learn something valuable, ask yourself, how can I apply this today? Not next week, not next year, today. Because action is what separates the dreamers from the doers. And if you make it a habit to take action consistently, step by step, day by day, you'll find yourself walking straight into the life you once only imagined. Wealth doesn't come from chasing money, it comes from solving problems. The more problems you solve, the more valuable you become. And the more valuable you become, the more wealth will naturally follow. It's a simple principle, yet so many people miss it. They spend their time asking, how can I make more money? Instead of asking, how can I provide more value? That shift in thinking makes all the difference. Think about the most successful businesses and individuals. They didn't just wake up one day with a pile of cash in their hands. They identified a problem, a need, a gap, and they filled it. That's why people pay for products, services, and expertise, because those things solve a problem. I remember when I first started in business, I wasn't making much. I was working hard, but I was focused on the wrong thing. Then I learned something that changed everything. Money is a reward for service. The more people I served, the more money I made. The better I became at solving problems, the more opportunities came my way. It wasn't about asking for more. It was about becoming more. If you want to create real wealth, start by looking around you. What challenges are people facing? What frustrations do they have? What solutions can you offer? You don't need to reinvent the wheel, you just need to become valuable. And once you do, the marketplace will take notice. People will seek you out, opportunities will come, and wealth will be the natural result of the value you bring. So, if you want to be wealthy, stop chasing money. Instead, chase value, chase solutions, chase excellence. Because when you do that, the money will always follow. Money is a wonderful servant, but a terrible master. If you don't take control of it, it will take control of you. That's why financial success isn't just about how much you earn. It's about how well you manage what you earn. You see, there are people making millions who are still broke, and there are people making a modest income who have financial security. The difference? Mastery. I learned this lesson early on. When I started making more money, I thought the answer was to spend more. I upgraded my lifestyle, bought nicer things, and before I knew it, I was right back where I started, struggling. It wasn't an income problem, it was a discipline problem. The truth is, if you can't manage a little, you won't be able to manage a lot. If you make $1,000 and spend $1,200, what do you think will happen when you make $10,000? The same habits will follow. More money doesn't fix bad habits. It magnifies them. That's why financial discipline is key. The goal isn't just to make money, it's to keep it, to multiply it, and to make it work for you. You have to learn to live below your means, not because you're afraid of spending, but because you respect the power of money. If you want to be financially free, start by telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. Invest wisely, build assets, and create a system where your money works harder than you do. Wealth is a powerful tool, but it is not the goal. If you chase money for the sake of money, you'll always feel empty. But when you pursue purpose, when you use wealth as a means to create impact, that's when life truly becomes rich. I've met people with millions in the bank, yet their lives are filled with frustration and regret. They climbed the ladder of success only to realize it was leaning against the wrong wall. And I've also met people with far less who live with such joy and fulfillment because they understand something crucial. Wealth is not just about accumulation, it's about contribution. The real question is, what will you do with your wealth? Will it serve only you, or will it serve a greater purpose? True wealth is measured not just in dollars, but in the difference you make. When you start living with purpose, when you use your financial success to create opportunities for others, to support causes you believe in, to lift your family and your community, you experience a level of fulfillment that money alone can't buy. But here's the key. Purpose doesn't start after you've made your fortune. It starts now. If you're not living with purpose when you have little, you won't suddenly find it when you have more. The habit of giving, of making an impact, of using what you have wisely, it starts today. Wealth is a tool. It's a means to a greater end. Use it wisely, direct it with intention, and let it serve something bigger than yourself. That's the real secret to a life well lived. Success is not built in days or weeks. It's built in decades. The challenge for most people is that they think too small and too short term. They focus on what's immediately in front of them, the next paycheck, the next weekend, the next opportunity. But those who achieve extraordinary wealth and success think differently. They don't just plan for the next few months, they design their lives with a vision that spans years, even decades. Imagine planting a tree. If you expect fruit in a week, you'll be frustrated and give up. But if you understand that true growth takes time, that the roots must go deep before the branches can stretch high, you'll nurture that tree with patience and care. The same applies to wealth, personal growth, and success. Those who build empires, who create lasting financial freedom, understand the power of long-term vision. This is why discipline is so critical. When you think in decades, you don't make impulsive decisions. You don't chase quick wins or get discouraged by temporary setbacks. Instead, you build step by step, day by day, knowing that consistency compounds. A single good decision today, repeated over years, can lead to unimaginable success. Most people overestimate what they can achieve in 1 year and underestimate what they can achieve in 10. But the moment you start thinking long-term, setting goals that challenge you, making investments that will grow, developing skills that will serve you for a lifetime, you step into a different level of success. The small sacrifices today, the discipline, the learning, the patience, it all adds up. Your future is shaped by the seeds you plant today. Think bigger, think longer, and commit to the process. The rewards will be greater than you ever imagined. As we wrap up, I want you to take a moment and really think about where you are right now and where you want to be. Not just next week, not just next year, but in the next decade of your life. Are you on the path to financial independence, to personal growth, to the kind of success that allows you to live life on your own terms? Or are you still stuck in the cycle of mediocrity, waiting for something to change? The truth is, nothing changes until you change. Wealth isn't something you chase. It's something you attract by the person you become. And that process starts with the small decisions you make every day. It starts with developing the right mindset, increasing your value, taking control of your finances, and thinking long-term. Most people will hear ideas like these and nod in agreement, but they won't take action. Don't let that be you. Be the person who applies what they learn. Be the person who decides today, not tomorrow, not next year, that it's time to step up, take responsibility, and design a life that reflects your true potential. The next 10 years are going to pass no matter what. The question is, will you look back with pride, knowing you made the right choices, or will you look back with regret, wishing you had started sooner? The choice is yours. Now go out there and make it happen.